Yeah.
Are we good? Thumbs up. I need a thumbs up. Oh, is that a thumb or a finger?
Oh.
Justin's birthday was yesterday. I brought him a cake and a bottle of whiskey.
Oh, we should sing.
We should.
No.
Happy birthday to you. It's Justin's birthday. I didn't get to see him on his actual birthday. He was working. Is this episode 11? Boys? That's 11. Episode 11. Mm-hmm. We're getting up to the end of the season. We have a special guest here tonight.
Marissa.
I want to say it all. Marissa. That's a good name. Marissa's a good name. Do you like your name?
No.
You really don't?
No.
Seriously?
I don't.
I have a daughter named Larissa, so it's very easy for me to just
love them all.
Love it. You know what I mean?
Let's replace that first letter. Barissa.
Barissa. Joe-rissa.
Parissa.
Sorry. You're like, this is why I fucking hate it. Nothing really rhymes with Thomas, so it's like just...
Well, none of those were words, so none of them rhyme.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's not like put a
Kelly. Stop it.
Right, but I'm saying put another letter in front of Thomas. It doesn't really.
No.
Right. See.
Lamas.
Like. Right. Lamas. Yo, girl, my name's Lamas. Pronounced with the No. Marissa, welcome to episode 11 of Complete Shenanigans.
It's true.
Do we want to give some credentials because she has some credentials, or what are we doing?
She has some. You don't want to discuss
I don't know if I have any credentials.
No, Marissa's like, I'm out.
No.
Well, tell us a little bit. What do you do?
I'm a therapist.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Go
like
tell.
Number 5 to number 4.
I know. I've had a lot.
It's all for you.
I know the universe is putting all of you in my life to get me
Female
through
therapist
this.
over and over.
I know. I got a male therapist coming.
You do?
Yeah.
That's great news.
Yeah.
But he's a bass player, so I don't know if I can trust him.
Probably not.
All right, Marissa, you're a therapist. Do you enjoy
Yes.
being a therapist?
I do enjoy.
How long have you been a therapist?
Like 5 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Do you still love it?
I do.
That's amazing.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the only other credential I have is I'm a mom. That's it.
A mom and a therapist.
A mom.
So superwoman.
So I'm going to ask you, ladies, being mothers and therapists, does that make it hard to like not go into therapy mode, or is it just mom instinct comes out?
Well, my answer might be different than hers.
Wow.
Hers is young. Well, hers is younger than mine. Like
yeah,
I
let's
have
try it.
teenagers, middle schoolers, elementary school
Yeah, I got
kids.
to meet them all. They're really
Yeah,
nice.
They're awesome. My
They're
kids
very
are
nice.
awesome.
And funny.
Sometimes I think my mom instinct takes over more. Like
Yeah.
that gut takes over more, but sometimes I do have to switch because being a kid right now is hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Always has been, but now it's even more.
I know. Just hard in a different way.
I know, guys. Kids are soft, right? That's what's wrong with everyone,
That's
right?
Obviously.
Yeah. Well, they're soft because y'all made them that way. So next.
That's true. No, my kids kick ass.
Yeah.
They're awesome. But yeah, I try not to be a therapist. I tell them all the time.
Really, don't make me.
I don't want to therapize my kids. I can. I feel like it makes me a different type of mom, but I never take my mom hat off.
Listen, do you remember when we had Mindy on here and she was talking about showing with like what sexual, like.
Yes.
Like I was like, I've seen some shit in my life, but if my mom broke out like a diagram of how to please a woman at me at 14, I'd be like, Mom, I have you porn. Like, just stop.
I got it.
There's lots of instructional videos, Mom. Lots.
She wanted to make sure they were well informed. I
know.
respect that.
And not much, like, but I was just like, and I'm sure she's a great mom.
She's a fantastic
That's what I
mom.
mean. But part of
She's
me
a
was like,
phenomenal mom.
I feel secondhand, like,
You got emotional sunburn
for her
during that
for
episode.
her son. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, bro.
Right.
Like,
Well, I
that's
told you
real.
I had a conversation with my son, and I was like, I'm so glad that you feel comfortable talking to me. And he was like, that's not the word I would use.
He's like, there's only one motherfucker comfortable here tonight,
like,
and that is you.
Okay. He was like, well, that's what he said. He's like, I'm glad you feel comfortable talking about it. And he said it was helpful, but like, you know,
Is it?
he's 11. So he was like,
God.
comfortable is not the word I would use.
Dude, I don't want to talk about that shit with my mom.
It's important. My parents did you have any type of sex talk?
Yeah, I got a girl pregnant at 16. It was a great sex talk. Like, why did you do that? I'm like, well, I didn't get the real run through on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I had none.
You want to hear my sexual conversation with my parents one time? I went over to my mom and my stepdad, and he's hilarious. He's an old truck driver from Cleveland, and he's pretty ridiculous, as you could probably imagine. He's 82, so not much filter. Yeah, and he would have a charcoal filter. I would assume if he had
There
one.
you go.
And we were talking, and I got there. He's like, "Why are you getting here so late?" It was in the morning. He's like, "You got some hooker up in your bed?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah." And my mom's like, "Matthew's on it." I was laughing. I was like, "I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there's a girl there."
Not a hooker.
No, God, no.
It's
Ew.
important to clarify.
Yeah, my friends have gotten hookers, but that's not really my bag. I got a friend. He used to get hookers a lot. He probably still does. And his nephew was like, "I don't understand why you gotta get hookers. Why you gotta pay for it?" He's like, "I don't pay for the sex. I pay for them to leave."
That's fair.
And I was like, I mean,
That's
shit.
the difference. There you go.
Yeah. So that's him for sure.
all right.
So speaking about hookers, I'm just kidding, Marissa. I'm kidding. So you parenting, your ones are little, so you can't really therapy them that much, right?
No.
I mean, you can. You're like, listen, Freud said, and they're like, what? I
No.
want to pop.
No. I'm just present.
Just momming.
Gentle.
Yeah, that
I try
helps.
and be gentle.
I do think that helps a lot. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, so hard week, medium week, not easy week. You had an easy week last week. You're not getting another one of those. You jinxed yourself.
At work, I had an easy week.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
Did she?
I was off today again. I've been living my best life.
I
Okay?
feel like
I was off
I
twice
have-
last week. I'm off twice this week. I'm off twice next week, and then I'm at home.
What are you, a city worker?
I'm just using up all my PTO.
Are you Ted Cruz right
I
now?
went kayaking all day today with my littlest.
Listen,
And our dog.
I worked like crazy today.
was
I had
glorious.
good clients today, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did.
That's
I had
helpful.
really good clients. I actually had 4 really healthy clients that were really wonderful to talk to. So it was really good. I've had some crazy stuff this week, though. Yeah. I had a girl that had a good realization in a new relationship. She's going to move into this apartment, or they're getting a house together in, like, I think August. And she was talking, we were just talking about stuff, her and her friend, and she was saying that her dude goes and plays poker every Friday night, and she tried to get him to not do it because she wanted to have like a date night and make it feel special. And it hit me hard, because I'm a little raw to that. And I was like, does he always play poker with his friends on Friday? She's like, yeah. And I go, what I try to understand, and I've been asking more people this question, is I said, every moment I've gotten to spend with someone, like my last relationship, I felt it was special because I got to spend it with them. Mm-hmm. I go, well, where does that line hit that makes it special and not special? Because I said, she goes, we're just sitting there watching TV. I said, if you caught him doing that with another girl, would you be like, oh, that's no big deal, they're not on a date? Mm-hmm. And she looked at me like, no, that would be special. I was like, oh, so it's special if it's with another girl, but not you. And you could tell she was like, I said, make him snacks for him and his friends, and his friends will protect you. His friends will always honor you. They will be like, no, that girl's dope.
Right.
Or can you go with him? She's like, I just don't, we're going to start hosting them, which I can't wait to do. I said, well, she goes, but I realized, why am I taking that from him?
Well, yeah, was she asking specifically for Friday night because she knew what Friday night was and she wanted to see if she could have it?
that old
Very familiar.
shitty
Yes,
routine.
right. So
Stop
they could
doing
have gone
that.
out. Right. It's not,
Stop.
Not best practice.
Gross. It's gross.
So she could have gone on a Saturday, but she wanted
course.
to know if she could have a Friday.
Yeah. I want a special date night, but I don't want to plan it. I want you to plan it.
But on a Friday.
Yeah.
See, that's the kicker. Like, it's okay
She
for her
admitted
to
it.
want a special date. Like, that's
She
fine.
admitted it, but didn't plan one.
Yeah.
And when they're like, well, I want the guy to plan it, and I go,
Yes.
we don't do that.
You should, though.
Okay, but we're not, listen, that's going to take a long time to get that ingrained in us. I'm not being a dick.
No, I know.
We're not good at it.
Well,
The only ones that are good at it are what you ladies, what's that word that rhymes with narcissist? That's the guys who do that shit. they oversell it. You know what I mean? Like we don't normally, like we can kind of plan a date, but it's never going to be. And listen, if we do it, that's a one time a year, twice a year that we can pull that shit off.
I feel like that's trash.
It is trash. I'm admitting our faults.
I know. So when you start dating somebody,
No.
do you ask them out?
No. I'm like, hey, do you want to get some food?
Do you pick a place?
What are you hungry for? I don't change that much.
Yeah.
I like going to have nice dinners and stuff like that, but here's the thing. Life happens.
Sure.
Listen, the same way you guys make excuses, and this is a good excuse, you guys make reasons, not just excuses, reasons why it's hard for you to fulfill the things y'all want to, can't fulfill. The same thing is like with a date. To me, what makes a special date? And if I gave you a special date every week, would it be fucking special anymore?
I would be spoiled as hell.
But would it be special anymore?
I'm a healthy enough person. I would.
You're like, I'd like to try that shoe on.
I feel like maybe I would be good at that and I would recognize it. But I guess here's the problem. It's not necessarily that they need something huge, big, and bold. Like they don't need a candlelit dinner on a waterfall every month. What I have found is they just want initiation. They just
that's
want
a different
you,
conversation.
Yeah, they just want you to say.
Do you know what pressure it puts on a man? Like I am a resourceful human. I am. I know how to make some shit happen.
Right.
But when a girl looks at me and goes, "We need a date night and you need to plan it," I'm like this.
Right. Well, if she's saying it, you're not doing it good enough.
Of course I'm not.
But like, it could just be like, "Hey, there's tickets to a show that I wanted to go to, so I bought us two." Perfect.
You think?
Unless you're dating the wrong person. But like, it should just be that easy.
I know, but like, here's the thing, like.
I'm hungry for pizza. Do you want to go to such and such tomorrow?
But that doesn't feel like a date. We always eat pizza. We always do. That's what I'm saying. Like, what makes it special? That's what I'm asking. I would love to be able to do this because, look, I'm done failing people. I don't want to fail people.
Yeah.
But there has to be a reasonable expectation. But, like, what makes it special and what makes it normal? Like, I love going to Luigi's.
Yeah.
Is that special?
It's delicious.
I make it special because I only allow myself to go there a handful of times a year.
Right.
Because, to me, I want to keep it. Yeah. I could go there every day. I'm a grown ass adult. I could eat there every day.
Right.
But if I did that, I'd feel like it wouldn't be special.
I don't know. Marissa, what do you think? Weigh in.
That's where I'm glad to be single. It just takes away all of the initiative. Because if someone was like, I planned this date for us, I'd be like, those are actually none of the things I want to do.
Oh, shit.
So either I plan what we're doing and you go along with it, or I'm just better off. Like, that's the best.
Can we just meet afterwards? Like, go ahead
like,
and I'll see
do
you
what
later.
I want, and then you just come over. Like, that's
a good
much
way of
better.
dating right there.
I think it's the best. It's by far the best part of being single, and even being a single parent. Like I get that it's a lot harder financially, but there's so much freedom. Like if I want to take my kid to the pool, I'm just doing it.
Can I ask a question?
Like 100%.
I had a client today, and he goes, the only thing I'm envious of single people is like if you want to go to the park, they just go to the park. And he's saying like normal shit. Mm-hmm. He's not saying like if I want to go fucking do coke and fuck hookers.
Right.
He's just like, I go, you can't just go to the park when you're married? Like I'm fucking lost. Like at what point do you have to like cut so much out of yourself to appease another? Like that's and it's so common that I hear this.
Well, we went to the splash pad this weekend. I took the two littles. And I went to my husband and was like, hey, I told the kids I would take them to the splash pad this weekend. So we're probably going to go today. And he was like, okay. And then there's like that awkward, like half a beat.
Like,
where
are you
it's
expecting
like, right.
me to go too?
I wasn't, but I knew that he would think that I wanted him to. But then I was like, why don't you nap while I take the kids? And he was like,
where's the trick? Oh, he's just waiting to get his ass whooped, dude. Like when your mom's like, no, it's cool. You can stay here. You don't have to go help grandma rake her leaves.
I know. But then I feel bad because there's guilt too, because I'm going to take the kids to go do something fun. And if he was feeling up for it, he would want to go. So then I'm like, do you want me to wait until later? Because I really don't want to go at 4:00. I'd rather just go now. And you should now. Like, so it's hard.
Yeah.
When there's other people that you have to consider.
Right.
It's not, consideration is a lot different than like permission.
Is it?
Yes.
It
Yes.
is. Yeah, it is.
It sounds like it, but is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's great.
And it's gotten to the point that like I won't even like even if I invite like at one point my sister's really really busy, but like she'll try like one time a summer to like come to the zoo or something. It's more of an inconvenience because like,
Yeah.
She has her own way of doing things, and like it's like, oh, but you have, like, yeah, but me carrying everything and doing everything is just my norm now. So
Right.
like we have our own system.
Your routine.
You
of,
pack
like,
your own stuff.
Yeah,
you
like
do your
I know
own
where we
thing.
get snacks. I know when we stop, and it's just like then I feel bad because I'm being an inconsiderate host, and I'm just like
Are you
I'm doing my own thing.
Did you rent out the zoo that day? I don't really think you're fucking hosting. This is my zoo today. What are you, fucking Michael Jackson that day?
I
No.
wish. I
No
wish I
shit.
did.
You
For my
know
dream
how long
job.
your kid can go.
Yeah,
and
you
like,
know
and
everything.
if he's done, he's done.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like,
but then
then
you're
I'm
like,
out.
sorry,
It's like, oh.
we gotta.
You know what I mean? And then like
Right.
if there's a conflict in schedule, it's like, oh, my kid can't walk that fast. Like we're not gonna be able to sprint all the way up the hill. Like when two
Right.
adults come.
Right.
Like, it's
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
it's a
My kid,
different
you know,
vibe.
there's some motor. He's not gonna be able to like sprint up the hill. So
Right. He can
it's
roll
just
down
so-
it, though.
he could definitely roll
Take the
down it.
tram up and just push his ass
He could
down.
skateboard down it. That's a
There
whole
you
different
go,
story.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
But
just
that's
so
what
much easier.
so that's not just with a mate. That's with anybody that we get inconvenience. And we
For
do feel
sure.
guilty because we want to make
sure.
somebody happy around us. But usually it's taken from us.
For sure.
But to make it what I'm trying to understand, though, I know we got off thing, but like what, and I know everybody's going to have different reasons what makes it special.
Yeah.
It takes a decent amount of planning, and like, well, you plan to do this and you plan to do that. And I'm like, yeah, but that's important to me. And why isn't a date important to me? Because it's not. It's not as important to me as it is to you. And I understand. Like, I'm just trying to understand how to do it without being a dick. Because I don't want to be a dick. I like going on dates.
Right.
I love going on a date with her.
Right. Yeah.
She's amazing. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
everything about it is good. But my brain doesn't always work that way. Like, I'm like, food is fuel, and I don't mind a date,
Yeah.
but sometimes a date just makes it's fake to me. It almost feels fake.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Like, if
It
we're on
does.
vacation and we want to go to a nice dinner, that's a totally
Sure,
different
right, yeah.
vibe.
Right.
But just on a normal thing, like, to me, a good date would just be going to the antique stores and walking around and getting some lunch and like that.
done
But
that, yeah.
and we have too, and it was great. But I'm saying, like, to make a special, like, is there something that's told to you guys as young women that, like, listen, the only thing special is if you make them really fucking uncomfortable to the point where they're gonna have a nervous fucking breakdown to prove you're the best.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Because it
but
fucking feels that way.
But what we are shown as little girls is that men show up and men go out of. Think of like Snow White. I grew up watching Snow White. This man rode a horse through the woods and singing, and like it's. They pick flowers for you.
I'm into
they show
that.
up for you.
They
Seek you out. You know how many princess stories they like
Yeah,
found
but can we
you
get
and-
can we get a follow up on these relationships? Because that shit's all in the beginning.
Well, I guess that's the other part is I've heard from a lot of women that men show up in the beginning and then they trail off because they want to hook, line, and
No,
sinker,
you can't.
right?
You can't sustain
Right.
at that. Not to be a dick, you girls look real good for the first fucking 3 months of our relationship too. That shit goes out the fucking window. Okay, cool. You want a special date night? I want a special fucking hair night.
Well, they will take them out. If you take them out, they do.
That's it though. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes.
That's what I'm
Still
saying.
probably
So
won't.
it's like
Right.
you cherry pick that
Still
shit. Like, whoa, she's busted too. I can tell she's like,
I know.
fuck.
I know. No, I guess so. My husband and I think it's important to communicate because we have a fuck ton of kids. So like
Yeah.
leaving without them is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I don't care where we go.
100%.
I just want him, I need to hear him say that he wants a date night. Like, hey, could we go out sometime soon? Date night would be nice. That just tells me that he wants the same thing that I want. And then he has started planning things, but he knows better than to plan it because I actually like to plan it. So what he'll do is like buy tickets to see my favorite band. He didn't buy the plane tickets. He didn't book the hotel. He didn't do anything other than buy the tickets, but that was enough. And then I got to plan the whole thing, and it was fun.
Fuck.
He took me away for our anniversary. He didn't know what we were gonna do or where, like, but he.
Yeah, and I understand stuff like that, but I'm still trying to understand like what deems it fucking special, because if I don't know and I'm not a fucking idiot, I guarantee Joe Blow is fucking dropping the ball. He is pissing her off.
He needs to learn her love languages. It's
Is that
true.
real?
Yes.
Or you can already look it up.
We have, didn't
No,
we?
fuck no.
Oh man,
No, we didn't dig
we need to
that
do a
fucking
whole we need to do a whole episode on love
Are we
languages
doing
for
that
sure.
on next show? God, that would be a shit show. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't fucking know love languages.
Well, I guess I
But
know
what if
I
your
have,
love language don't jive with his love language?
they don't.
Then what the fuck, dude?
Then you have to be considerate.
You have to learn. Like,
Right.
if something was deemed special to me at this point, it would not be. It would be something that actually served to make my life easier.
Acts of service.
Like, for sure. Like,
Yep.
exactly. Like, if someone was like, hey, for my first, from our first date, do you want me to come over and put the bunk bed together that you've been struggling to do together
Yeah.
now for the last 6 weeks? Like, I'll come over with no expectations, but you've mentioned it and I want to come over and fix it. Like, that to me would be so much better than if they're like, hey, do you want to go out to get dinner? Because then I have to find a babysitter and I don't want to do any of that. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So like,
Yeah.
if you're going to come over after my kid's in bed and put my bunk bed together, that is special
Slam
to me.
dunk,
And it's
right.
completely free and it
Yeah.
requires that. You don't even have to have forethought. Like, you just have to remember, like,
She
she
mentioned
mentioned that
that bunk bed
for like
Yeah.
3 weeks and it's probably sitting
See,
up there
that's
half
more easy
together.
for
Right.
me.
So yeah, like, and then that's like, that would be way more special to me
So that's your love language.
than
acts of
trying to,
service.
yeah, like, oh my, because if I had applied,
Most-
I'd be like, no, I'm not going. Like, if we need to go on a date, I'm not going. It's
You're like,
more
listen,
stressful.
we're gonna get this date thing figured out. By date, I mean I'm not leaving.
Right. Well, no, acts of service, I
For
think
sure.
most moms have shifted, and acts of service comes up the list
sure.
a little. So he makes my
Quality
coffee.
time.
Makes my coffee every single morning, and he has filled my gas tank. All of a sudden, it's the great. Always fill your wife's gas
always.
tank. That's huge.
Always.
He surprised me
That
with
shit's
it like
easy for me.
3 weeks in a row, and I cannot express to you how much love that made me feel.
Right.
Because every single day I bitch because I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I need fucking gas and I have to take the kids here and here and here.
That's
and
why we don't trust y'all.
Yeah.
because we wait till it's on E and then reset our trip meter so we know how long we can go after it goes on E.
Yes.
I don't know anybody that does that.
I've never. known
Even when it's on
anybody
E, there's
else.
really like another
Well, yeah.
safety gallon or two.
My truck
left
will
in
count
there.
down.
Yeah.
Well, that's
but
how
my
we feel
car
about
doesn't.
relationships too.
They count down.
You were like, nah, she's on E, but we still got another
Right.
28 days before she really loses her shit. Before we're empty.
Awful. That's awful.
What?
Well, don't be mad when she's
Oh,
bitching.
I'm not mad. I just want to be better at what I do. I want to be better. I don't
Yeah.
want to make. I mean, but I also know what my limitations are. But actually, I don't have a ton of limitations. But I don't know
Be
how to.
intentional.
I don't know how to naturally just think that way. And girls get mad when you like that girl. She's like, I just want a date night. But I go then make a date night. I don't want to plan it. I go, but you're telling him, which is planning it. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is where it's like, how the fuck's that work? You just planned it because you told him to plan it, but you don't want to plan it.
Right. She wants to be surprised.
Okay, surprise, we're going on a fucking date. And they're like, I got a babysitter and I got to do my fucking hair.
I know.
I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
Like, no,
We're not doing it.
no, don't surprise me at all. Please.
And some people, he would
Never.
have to get to know you and like,
Sure.
Figure out like, hey, that's not my jam.
Right.
I'm not really into that.
Well, that's what I mentioned.
I don't do well with surprises.
It depends.
I don't.
I like them in theory.
No, there's nothing about them I like. No.
But there's love languages. So if somebody's really big on physical touch and you're not, that's hard. That's a hard
Yeah.
one because that's a physical boundary that you have to cross.
Yeah,
but
I've never had that problem.
other people are like gifts. There's
I'm into giving gifts. I'm into doing things
Yeah.
for you. I'm into like making sure your shit works good, your car's good, all that shit's good, your grass is mowed, everything's
Yeah.
good. If I can help you, I can help you. Planning a date night gives me like I don't get anxious about shit very
Mm-hmm.
often. That literally my shoulders are right now tensing up. And I know where it comes from. And I know where it comes from.
where's that?
Truthfully,
Pick up that rock.
because I've been told to do that, and I literally would just fuck it up or sabotage
Yeah,
it or
right.
fuck it up.
Right.
And I was so honest with her. I was like, please stop, please stop asking me to do this. I will tell me what day to show up, what to wear. I will pay for it. I will stay as late as you fucking want me to. I will drive, whatever you want. Well, then it's not special. But I'm telling you,
Right.
this sucks for me.
Right. Well,
And that
then
was years ago.
That sucks.
But it seems to still be kind of
Yeah.
fucking dragging along behind me.
Yeah.
So I think I need to get hypnotized or something.
It sounds like you need to do some EMDR with that.
What the fuck? Let's
That's what
talk about that.
That's what it sounds like. Well, because the idea of EMDR.
we do that right now?
Yeah,
Right in front of everybody?
Absolutely.
I don't give a fuck. Let's go.
Right. Because the idea of EMDR would be that. So that's what you just said was a core belief, right? EMDR doesn't actually tackle memories because the idea is like, if I don't like being yelled at, right, there's probably more than one specific memory in my life that makes me not like to be yelled at. It's probably like years of being yelled at. So instead of, like, if I had to go in therapy and go through every single time in my life, I'd be dead. And there's not enough therapy sessions in the world to process it.
All of them.
So the idea of EMDR is like you distill it down to a belief. So what's the belief? The belief that I have if I get yelled at is I'm not good enough. 4 words. It really sums up like 27 years where I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So it sounds like in that, like there were relationships that you put forth effort and it wasn't communicated back that effort was even valued. So the belief becomes my efforts aren't valued. So why would I put them forward? Therefore, and you can make it even smaller. Like my efforts don't matter.
Yeah,
right?
I think mine wasn't so much that. Mine was I felt guilt for doing something nice or enjoying my life because I felt like I failed somebody and I didn't deserve to be happy. That's where it came from.
Yeah.
And as much as I thought I worked through that, apparently I fucking have not.
No.
Because literally it's all hitting me right now. I'm like, oh, it's still, it's like, oh,
Hi,
hey,
Cole.
motherfuckers, still back here. Hi, still sitting back here. So
Yeah, it's if that's one of the most common core beliefs is I don't deserve happiness or I'm a failure or some combination of generally one leads to the other. If I'm a failure, I don't deserve happiness.
because I failed someone,
Yeah.
I don't deserve to be happy.
You're not worthy.
For sure, right? Which in reality is different because as we just saw, like if you put that effort forth to a different person at that moment, it may have been super valued.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it would have been.
It
100%
it
would have
100% would have been. Like, if a person is dating me and they come forth and they plan a date night, it's completely invalued to me, But maybe if someone buys you concert tickets, I'd be like, what the fuck? Why I don't want these? Why did you waste the money on this? Like, I'm asking for the twin bed we set up, dude.
Right, yeah.
How many times do I have to ask you this
That's
question?
so good.
Like,
so get your Allen wrenches out, motherfucker.
Come on, we're going to work.
Right,
I have a tool. We're going. But so if that person were if they bought me concert tickets, they internalize, oh my God, I did something nice, and it did. I can't make people happy. But it was just the wrong person. So there's a distortion in the way you perceive that event, and that's the part that sticks with you, and that's the part that your brain creates loops.
So I'm allowed to be happy.
And yeah, right.
You
even
sure?
if you don't make someone else
happy. Can I have
happy.
you sign something and say that, like I can look at it and be like, yeah, you're allowed.
Explain what EMDR does, though.
So EMDR is this idea that so EMDR works on the idea that talk therapy is good, but it's good second. So generally therapy is just like talking, right? So we just talk, right? So if you have your brain, right, EMDR works on this part, like the part that's actually in your neck, and talk therapy works on this part, right? And the idea is that the things that actually really screw you up in life don't ever make it to the top part.
They're always back
They're
there.
stuck in the bottom
Making
part.
my shoulders hurt.
Yeah, right. And that's when you have those bodily reactions.
Yeah.
I always tell people the easiest way to explain it is if you've ever worked with abused dogs and you get something pick up a bag to take, they'll flinch.
They cower.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the part, because dogs their whole brain is what this back part on ours is, right? So you behave like a dog when you're traumatized,
It's not the first time I've been told that, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. You just react, So EMDR is the idea of we could go to talk therapy for 12 years. And the thing that actually, and I would probably argue what made you feel like you didn't deserve happiness if you failed to make someone else happy probably didn't even come from that relationship. It probably came from somewhere when you were
100%.
super young and you probably didn't even have words for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we do this as parents. If we say something like, why did you act like you ruined my day out here today, right? Or I hear parents
It's
even
a little harsh.
for sure, right? I see parents do it all the time.
You ruined my day.
we have to go home because of the way you're behaving.
Yeah.
It's it's not your kid's job to make that day fun for you. It's their job to make it fun for them. But something that small could stick in your brain and it could just derail you for the next 50 years unless you actually reprocess it. So EMDR is, instead of talking about that, because you're not going to have words for it anyway, you would use bilateral stimulation, which is something that uses both sides of your brain.
Okay.
And so there's a bunch of different ways. COVID made this really complicated because normally people would just you'd track the therapist's fingers which I never liked because first of all that hurts like an hour.
After a while.
Right.
I've
You're
always
like, I have
wondered. I'm
shit
like,
to
I
do.
can't do
No, I
that
can't do
because
this.
my arm will go.
Why don't you buy a metronome?
Yeah, right. So they made buzzers where like people put them on their wrist and they
Whoa,
buzz.
hey, listen.
Right.
It's getting creepy.
Just back and forth.
I like it.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do, right? And then that was an issue too because like
Yeah.
people that vibrating sensation made a lot of people uncomfortable depending on what traumas they were processing, right?
Right, yeah.
So you
And
know,
some people really liked it a little too much.
I'm sure some
Just
people
saying.
out there like I want more and more EMDR.
Yeah. That's not where that goes.
Your
Okay.
wrists, please.
Quit sitting on your wrist, ma'am. Sir.
Wrist on the table.
Yeah. I need to see your hand.
Just at all
Hand job.
times.
Yeah.
Constantly with kids. I need
Right.
your hands on the table, guys.
Okay.
But so then like there's other forms. Like I always have clients kind of tap their own knees because like it's a lot more comfortable if you're tapping.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, it
Right.
gets weird with somebody else.
You know, if someone else, and like there are therapists that will tap
Mm-hmm.
a client's legs.
Yeah.
That just again, I
I
work
need their
with,
names.
you know,
We're going to write them up.
Right, right. I mean, I work with a lot of people that have a lot of bodily trauma, so that's just weird for all. I'm not gonna sit there and tap your knees, like.
Right.
And with COVID, that became less of a thing anyway because you'd have to be like a foot apart. So the idea is when you're doing that, you would hold that memory and the emotion associated with it in your brain. So like the first time that you felt like you failed to make someone happy,
Right.
and as you were doing your like bilaterally talking in your brain, the parts of your brain that connect it, so like the bridge, the corpus callosum gets stronger, and that makes that memory move from here to here. And then once it does, that belief is shifted. Like you'll actually feel it in your body that you no longer like you're like, well, yeah, I don't need to make someone else happy to not be a failure. Like it just wasn't right for that person.
I thought I went through that.
You know?
I thought I put that to bed, but apparently
It's
here in front of
popping up.
everybody today on the Not So Tender podcast number 11, I have not. So that's a real thing.
It is a real thing, and a lot of people prefer it because people don't want to go to therapy and talk.
Yeah.
No, I talk all fucking day.
Yeah.
I come here and fucking talk.
It's annoying.
Like,
And it's not
literally.
effective.
It might not be working for you.
It might not.
You might need some deeper. I call them spicy rocks.
I mean, it's
Because
but
like
I didn't
you
realize
lift the rock, and then every once in a while you're like, "Fuck that rock," and you
Yeah.
put it down.
But this one is not a crazy rock, but like, why do I keep feeling that way? Why does that send a like?
Yeah.
it does. It makes my shoulders tense up, and it makes me just like. And
Very
it shouldn't.
uncomfortable.
It shouldn't make me, dude. Especially when I love someone and I enjoy spending time with them. It's not like I avoid them because I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't avoid them. I mean, I have it when I'm angry or something, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, but as a general rule, no, I didn't avoid that person.
Yeah.
I enjoyed spending every moment I could with them.
Right.
So why would having a date night? Could it be an authoritarian thing too when you're being told to fucking do something even when you know it's right, you just don't want to fucking do it?
Oh yeah, for
be,
sure.
I guess we don't talk about that enough. That could be a part of it with me too. I hate being told what to fucking do.
Right.
I do.
Right.
How do you get through that?
We have to figure out where it comes from.
Yeah, I
Like-
fucking don't like being told what to fucking do.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
No,
Well, I
but
really
that's a
don't.
Deep-rooted. That's a deep-rooted thing too.
You know, because I try to conduct myself where I don't have to deal with that very much. You know what I mean? Like
Well, you
I
don't
just-
want to be corrected.
I try. Well, yeah. And like, and then it probably is probably that thing too. Like, we need a date night, which means I'm failing you. Mm-hmm. Because I should have already thought of that.
Right. You should have recognized that, or they're putting their faith in you, saying you plan it, and you're like,
Right.
I'm going to let you down. Because if you're expecting it and you're asking for it, then you're already setting it up
Super
here,
heightened. Super heightened for me.
right.
And I shouldn't feel that way. Man, I've never smoked weed, but I'm feeling like it's coming up in my life. I'm kidding. I'm not going to.
Today's the day.
Look, Justin's fucking
Look,
ears popped
he's
up.
ready. He is ready.
He's like, finally.
I've been waiting.
I've been waiting 27
Decades.
years for this. No, I'm not gonna. So that's an interesting thing. So people should look into that. If the talking's not working,
It's very helpful.
get to the knee tapping.
It's very helpful.
No buzzing.
It is very helpful.
Have you seen good results from it?
Yeah. The biggest results I've seen from it are that people feel better quicker And like, that's what people don't like about therapy is, you know, they're in it for like 3 years, you know, but like if you go to therapy if you do EMDR for 3 months, you're probably going to feel a lot better. Like you're not going to be like,
It's pretty intense.
cured,
Right?
but it's not really intense. It's no more intense than what your brain does on a daily basis because your brain constantly recalls memories. We're just not aware of it.
Amen. I'm fucking aware of it.
For sure, right?
Dude, I feel like I live in
100%.
AI. For real. This shit is like, it's a lot.
It is.
Maybe the weed thing is starting to sound better. Could you imagine me high?
I can imagine you getting a medical marijuana card.
I have a lot of drug dealer friends. I don't think I would have to
No,
do
that
that.
is not the way to do it.
Wait, I can't trust them. Big Pharma? I'm kidding. I'm not going to start smoking weed if I haven't done it this far in my life. I feel like there's no real
Why
good
start
reason.
now?
No, fuck, I didn't do it when I had cancer. All my potheads friends were like, bro, now you can smoke weed. I was like, I don't know if y'all know this, but I could have smoked weed anytime I wanted to smoke weed around you pothead motherfuckers. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
But I was like, they're like, people who smoke weed is because they want to get their appetite back or eat. You know what I
Sure,
mean? I go,
yeah.
I can't take 1 milliliter of liquid without aspirating. Do you think
Right.
I've lost
don't
my
wanna be
appetite?
hungry. I don't
have a
wanna-
feeding tube, motherfucker.
I don't wanna
like,
be
no, I don't really need to smoke weed.
You don't want to be hungry.
But the gummies thing, I don't know. I think I'm just going to eat a bunch of shrooms on my birthday. I'm kidding. It's a control thing. There's no fucking way I could do that.
No.
I'd lose my shit.
That's
Yeah.
I'd have a full fucking meltdown. And I'm not into it. No, you guys are like, no, it's super fun. You should try it.
No, the fear of losing control. Yeah, that's not.
Really?
It's not worth it.
You don't like that?
No.
You're like, I can't even go to a concert. Didn't you just fucking hear me? I need my bunk beds fixed.
Damn it.
Fuck.
You should
Literally.
read the number.
Dude, I feel like
Here,
I
this is
feel
where
like
it's-
I would go over and fucking. But do you need these put together?
Well, I was gonna say
'Cause
he's
I got
gonna ask
tools.
you when we're done.
I
if we
will,
can
because
come down
I
and-
look.
No, at this point they're put together.
Okay.
They're put
What do you need?
together. Nothing.
Okay, 'cause
I
listen.
built most of them myself because I realized
Well, if
that
you can build a
there's-
child, I have a hunch you can build a bed that
I
carries this
could.
child.
I can. It's pretty sweet. There's a slide and a rock climbing wall.
That's
on it.
not a fucking bed.
It's pretty amazing,
That's
actually.
pretty amazing. I could see why
was-
you needed some help.
It was fun.
I like it. So basically, what we come down to is figure out why this makes you so uncomfortable. Great.
Yes, make sure. Let's figure out why
Me.
it makes you want. Get
I did.
You.
We just did.
Right, yeah, I
think
know,
we just
I
did.
know.
Right.
And for the rest, figure out what their love language is so that they can feel special. Because you have to be intentional.
Man, intentional. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of problem solving for people.
Well, yeah,
It is.
yeah.
That's so
Relationships
much
are
effort.
hard. Yeah, I mean, it does take effort. If you want a happy, healthy relationship
Yeah.
that will grow,
And
It's-
the other
it's hard
struggle with
work.
my clients as well is I go, when does your needs outweigh somebody else's needs? And that's a hard one. That's a really hard one to
as
weigh out.
needed.
Yes, but most people don't. It's whenever they need it, and that's not fair either. It's not allowing somebody to be their own person. You know, I mean, dude, the guy today was talking. He's like, dude, we get about 5 days, and we fight for 3 days, and we get about 5 more days. And I was like, it made me say, he's like, but I'm so used to it now. It's like that's just what we do.
It's a shit ratio.
But you know what though? He goes, but when we're good, we're great. You
Yeah.
know, and then we have like 3 days ago. Maybe you guys just need a break from each other for 3 days where you just kind of have your own little space.
Right.
You guys could do that a little more cordially, I think. Right?
Day 1, when they start fighting, they should have sex.
With each other.
Yep.
That's the worst idea.
It'll make their rebound shorter.
Really? I'm all
How would
letting
that
him know.
even look? Like, I'm so mad at you.
It works. Mm-hmm. It has
Does work.
worked.
It does
I'd be
work.
like,
Yeah.
nope, I'm out. No.
It has
Nope,
worked.
nope,
Hey,
nope.
Mike went out on a date yesterday. Yeah. Why are you making that fucking face?
I wanna talk to him
Like he just
about
got out
it.
of prison.
I
Like
know,
you're
I
like,
wanna make-
how did he
I
get a
wanna
pass?
No, I want to talk to him about
Yeah, he
it.
went out on a date.
Did it go well?
It went okay, he said. But he's new back at this, so I think he's
know.
getting his sea legs again. But I'm interested. I called him today and I was like, "Hey, how'd it go?" He's like, I'm not gonna tell his shit, but it was pretty interesting. We'll get into it.
Okay.
We're gonna do a little thing with Mike and his dating. So if you guys want to date Mike, call 234-200-5949 if you want
To
to
the
meet
highest
Mike
bidder.
and have him do some crazy shit with you. You know what I mean?
Just leaned in.
I know. Right. But it was interesting because, he hasn't been out on a date in a while. So, like, to hear him, like, maneuver through it was interesting for sure. But he's putting his best foot forward, and he's trying to get out there and get back in the game. But after reading all those red flags last week, I can't believe he even tried it, to be honest with you. That was confusing as shit. I had a lot of people talk to me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Some fucking red flags. Everything's a fucking red flag.
Some were better than others.
You think? You know what I thought was
of them were
interesting, though?
legit.
Here's what I thought was super interesting. This. Right here. Do you like red flags? Have you painted some red flags green, Marissa? I have a
No,
hunch
at
you
this
might have.
point in my
Not at this
age.
point.
Do you have a list of red flags that you that are like?
I have an entire damn assessment at this point. Like,
Seriously?
if you want to actually, aside from just texting me, hey, then there's an entire assessment we need to go through, because I'm not putting anybody in my kids' life. Like, I am fully content in not meeting anybody till I'm like 45.
Seriously?
And all the kids are grown and gone. Like, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah. 45 is young.
Are you just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you just setting
Right.
yourself up so nobody can hurt you or nobody?
Probably both, but at the
Yeah.
same point,
You're being realistic.
it's being very realistic. Like, there is legitimately there's a series of assessments you would have to,
Okay.
one would have to pass.
Are they written?
Yes, they are.
You have written them
There's a
down?
PDF document.
Can you send that to me?
Of acceptable behaviors and, yes, personality traits,
I like it.
past.
So we were talking about jealousy today at the shop, and I showed him this.
Oh.
I've never seen this defined like this. It's very interesting to me.
Read it out loud.
I'm not good at reading. My friend pointed it out, made me feel very insecure about reading. I'm gonna try it. Jealousy is a combination of anxiety, insecurity, anger, and fear. I've never heard of it. Like, when we say jealousy, we just say it. And I've talked about jealousy 4,000 times. I'm sure everyone at the table has. Hearing it actually defined,
Broken down.
yes, that's a whole different thing. It really stuck with me. You want me to say it again? Mike's talking to me through my ears like God. And jealousy is a combination of anxiety, insecurity, anger, and fear. So that's the definition of jealousy. And none of us have ever heard that. And I find that interesting. Because all those
Makes
feelings
sense.
are pretty
Yeah, spot on.
heavy. They're heavy.
Yeah. And they can be intense,
All of those.
spiked, out of nowhere.
Yeah. So when people are like, you're just being jealous. And he was talking about jealousy, and he goes, I feel like jealousy is like being envious of like someone else's good stuff. And I'm like, not really. That's envy. It's a
Right.
different thing, right?
I would agree.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to me, like the jealousy thing. So you want a little more hands-off kind of relationship.
I would pay good money to
non-existent.
see this PDF.
I would. I want to see it now. I'm going to make one.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'm
it's a
purposely-
nice, like, it organizes your own thoughts then, so that you're not. So there's a difference between paranoia and then there's just like, no, these are like non-negotiables. It's
Right.
just
I have questions.
regarding the list.
Let's
Has
go.
Has anybody ever seen the list?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
Like, you
very.
give
It's
it
very.
to
I
them?
just send it to them. For sure. It's not like it's like hi. So
I
if
thought
you
that
wanna
this was like
proceed-
something that you have
No.
that you're like.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
He's like, Ayo girl, and you're like,
attach. Please fill out your answers, and I will get back to you in 1 to 2 business days if we can get.
I love it. What's that test that they do for employees like that? It's like that.
Yes,
Oh my gosh,
100%.
do people do it?
Most people don't respond.
No. Have people?
Yes,
done it?
people have absolutely responded. Oh yeah, for sure.
Interesting. How
People
long
have
is it?
responded. Like
pretty good.
I would say about 5%. There's about a 5% response, right? And normally it's like, this is crazy. Most
Oh.
people just leave. But sometimes people will respond and be like, no, I agree with most of those. Like, they're very reasonable.
Has anybody ever filled it out?
Yes, for sure. And I would say everybody who's filled it out has been, anyone who filled out their responses were also a parent.
Okay.
Like, they were a parent too,
Okay.
because then they would respond with similar boundaries. They'd be like, I think for the first year that we know each other, we should make sure that we don't interact with each other's children, because
For a year.
you know what I mean? Yeah, until we're like 100% sure of what's happening in the future.
Can you give me the reasons for that?
Yeah, because I field where I see kids get messed up all the time, and I would not want my own, because my happiness comes from being a mom, you know what I mean?
Right.
And being a partner is all, like, when I made that choice to become a mom, I knew being a partner would be subservient to that. always, forever.
Yeah, and
right.
it's hard
not.
for a
It's
partner to
100%, and
understand
it's
that.
100. Like, because that's always the first conversation. Like, would I come second? I'm like, absolutely, 100%. Like, and if that's a problem for you, if you deserve to, but I come second too, right? Like, that's my whole thing. You come second because I don't come first in our home either, right? And my child also has special needs, so that house is geared towards those needs.
That changes things a little bit.
For sure,
Would
right?
If your child didn't have special needs, would that be
No, it was
different?
the same.
You're like, nah.
No, the
Still.
PDF would remain. The PDF was written before we realized that there were going to be.
But no, what
special
I'm
needs.
saying, like, as far
100%.
as the kid always, see, that's a struggle. You know,
It
what
is
I
a
mean?
struggle, 100%. It's a huge struggle, and that's why I'm so upfront about it, because it's like, I don't want you
That's
to
not
start pouring
negotiable.
effort into me and then feel bad about yourself that you're not meeting my expectation, because it's probably not my expectation. It's probably just that in this scenario, it doesn't work.
Right.
Do you think a lot of people would be like, I can get her to, like, she's just saying that because she's trying to put up a wall and, like, be like,
Some people do, but then
sure.
generally it's just like, it's a non, you
like,
know.
nah, she wasn't fucking kidding. Wow.
Right.
Still going hard in that.
That's right. Yeah.
It comes back to boundaries. I can't. My boundary is that if you don't exhibit those behaviors, I will just leave. I will just not. I will just.
You're done.
Not respond. Like, I can't control if you're going to actually honor what I've asked, but I can control how I respond to it. That's 100% within my control.
Right.
And there will be lots of people that will just. I think the overwhelming response has just been that people are happy that it was set up front. Before, people were like, we dropped $500 to get, like, in Youngstown, there I grew up, like, Springfield Grill is like the most expensive restaurant. It's a little bit of a ghetto town, so the
Yeah.
restaurant scene is
Right.
I got you.
minimal. Okay,
Yeah, they're working on
Chipotle's
it.
fine
They're
dining.
working on it.
So like, before you go and drop $500 there, just know I can't come. So don't express that. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm not going to want to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want that, buy the food and then bring it over once.
You need
my
a
kid's in bed.
homebody. You like
Yeah,
Dungeons and Dragons at
for
home?
sure.
I'm in. Right.
Yeah, right? Like, or
Shit we can do
yeah,
here.
100%,
Yeah.
or like, if you were going to help, like, if you were legitimate, then I would 100% wait until my kid was asleep, but I'm not going to, like, not be with him to make time for you. That's
Right.
just, it's an issue for the vast majority of people. And honestly, I
would
don't think
imagine.
I would date me. But that's fine.
Did you say you
I
wouldn't
would
date
not,
you?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I understand.
Mike, would you date you? Would you date you? Mike said no. He wouldn't date him either.
Absolutely not.
Holy shit. I'd date
No.
the fuck out of me.
I was gonna say, I think I'm fucking fantastic.
Oh shit. I'm reasonable. I just say that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, but you're in a
would
place
not.
in your life now
would
that
not.
that doesn't it doesn't mean more to you than
No, it doesn't.
Right.
And I'm cool with that. And that's what, like, anytime that I work with or talk with other single parents, that's when I always say, like, the hardest thing is not anything else. Like, you will develop a power that you could do everything that you need to do. Like, you will make it work, but you need to come to the conclusion that you will probably make it work alone. And if you can come to peace with that, anything else that happens is cool.
even when you're with a partner.
Even when you're with a partner, you're still going to be doing it alone.
You do. Well, everybody does. Everybody
yeah.
does everything alone.
For sure.
They love the thought of, like, that 50-50.
Yeah.
I heard that today. Somebody said, it's supposed to be 50-50. And I'm like, like, how could you even measure that? But you do things a lot alone. And sometimes you need some help, and that's a different thing too. But it comes at a cost. Everything comes at a fucking price, it feels like. But being a single parent, I struggled. I would date, and I wouldn't let anybody meet my kids. I did that for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, nope, I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep that life separate. I'm gonna do this. And then one day I let a girl in, and I enjoyed so much sharing because I have really awesome kids. We all
Yeah.
think but I mean, like, I love my kids, man. And when I felt that and was, like, able to do fun shit with my partner and do it with my kids too, because I was a weekend dad at best. So that means the only day I really took off was to see my kid, because I would take a lot of days off, and then I can't see a girl. So I was like, well, it's time, you know what I mean? And I brought her around.
Yeah.
And I started enjoying it because I was like, this is dope. I
Right.
like going on, doing things with my kids and someone else.
Yeah.
So because I've done both.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one's better. They're better at the time,
For sure.
and some people they really struggle with that whole thing with meeting their kids. You know, like, I'm not ready. I'm like, well, if they're meeting your vagina, they should probably meet your kid eventually. I'm just saying.
I feel like those are separate.
I'm just saying, you know
For
what I
sure.
mean? Like,
Right,
well, the
sure.
guy I was talking, you know, he's going through a divorce today, this other guy, and he was talking, and I said, you know, he goes, you know, I just don't know how to, he's new. This is new. Like, and I go, dude, unless it's a one-night stand, don't have a relationship with somebody that you don't think's worthy to meet your kids, because they're not worthy to be with you, because your kids aren't going nowhere.
Right.
I mean, that's a fact. Like, if you got a one-night stand, that's your situation that you have, you know, a booty call, but you're not messaging them good morning. You're not, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole separate fucking thing.
Yeah.
So just know that. And I said, not just that, don't attach yourself. And I know I sound like an old man now, but I'm like, don't attach yourself to people like that, because it attaches to you,
Right.
you know. But I could imagine most people are like, what the fuck? So what is the point of this? And you're like, I don't know exactly. I don't even know why I'm
Same.
here.
Also.
Why are you bothering me?
Right. Put my bed together. Shut up. Grease up that
I
slide.
have needs, right? I have needs, but they include my lawn and my dishes.
I had a guy today. He's been married 20 some years, and his wife was there and his kid. And we were talking about something about girls complaining. He goes, I had a woman before her that was complaining about not doing, her husband not doing housework or what, you know, or so it was, I don't think he was with her. And he goes, okay. Or no, it was, he was dating her. And she goes, you know, you need to do this, this, and this. He goes, okay. So listen, this is the kind of oil that goes in your car. This is how, when you start the mower, you got to like prime it and all. And she's like, I can't do that. He goes, no. I'm going to be in here waiting for the dryer to stop while I'm doing dishes. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, I can. He goes, I do all those things. You don't. And you're literally like, no, I can't do it. I was like, shit, dude. I've been saying this for a while. He just went, knocked her out of the park.
Right.
I was like, facts.
Right.
You know, it's total facts. I was like, shit. Like, oh. Everybody should be able to help somebody, but people have their things they're better at and like to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. None of that's on the list. I do
No.
all that stuff myself. No, if someone put gas in my car, that'd be sweet. I
Look
would
at-
really like that. And that's largely because my child's severe separation anxiety. So when he sees me through the window, it is like hands pressed against the window. I'm like, I can't like reach out and grab the car because then you're going to die.
Right.
And I can't leave the radio on for you because you're also going to die if the car's running. It's like your tablet's on and like it's me using sign language through the window. And then everyone's like, is she high? Should we call the police?
Is she abducting this
Like,
child?
Is she like, yeah, and that's what,
He's
and
like-
because my kid is much darker than me, I have had multiple people like, is that your kid? I'm like, yes. That's clearly why he's trying to get through the window to see me.
Right.
And does not
Yes.
understand the concept. So
not
either pump it
escaping.
for me.
Well,
or stop
escaping and trying to
asking.
get you looks the same.
For sure. Remy's a 5-point harness, so it's like just the fingers on the window like, scraping down. So now I've just kept the window open, but it makes
Yeah.
it worse.
That's how Mike
because
States looked the other
He
day.
just screams.
Because he's like blood curdling, screaming.
Oh, no.
Right? Like,
You need to teach him how to pump fucking gas.
I don't think he
Let
could
him
reach
do
the
it.
pump.
Nah, give him a
No.
stool.
So now I just shove food in this before I get out of the car. I'm just like,
He's
take a
good.
sucker and shut up. I don't want the
He's
cops
good.
calling on
Yeah,
him.
be cool, motherfucker. Be
It'll
cool.
take me 4 minutes. to
Literally,
pump the
it's
gas.
gonna take me, and that's why I can't let it get below a half a tank because.
Did you put that? You're going to go home and change that PDF. Like, edit. PDF.
Please cut my gas. Please pump my gas.
No shit.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
If you're, yeah, I could see that. I don't mind doing that shit. I just can't obviously plan a fucking date because I'm an idiot, and it makes me feel like an idiot now that I'm really thinking about it. This is the stupidest thing
Don't
ever.
invalidate yourself.
What does that mean?
Tell yourself that your feelings are stupid.
Well, no, it's dumb that I couldn't fucking figure that out.
But it has nothing to do with the actual date. That's
Yeah.
not why you couldn't figure it
Right.
out.
I don't know.
Like if someone else came in and was like if there was a person that came in and they were just like, hey, I need help planning a date. This is what my partner likes. You'd probably be able to help them because
Oh,
there's
dope-ass date.
Yeah, because
Right,
there's
yeah.
no emotional connection, so it's not
And
the
I don't have
actual
to do it.
planning of the
Right.
date, right? I mean, it's just
Yeah, he's gonna fail her, not me.
yeah, for sure, right?
Good on you, bud. That's why I didn't
You're like,
try
I
to.
set that up.
Look, I was helping Mike, and I probably helped ruin his date. I don't know if I did or not. I might have. Put that bad mojo up on that shit.
Don't touch anybody's date right now.
No, fuck no. I can't even go near that shit.
Send
No.
everybody to Luigi's. It's a good. I'd be legit. If someone
I'd be
brought me
fine.
Luigi's, I'd be like, all right, we're cool.
Best
That's
place
awesome.
ever, man.
Good for
Best
you.
place ever.
Brought it.
Brought it to me. I'm not going there. We've already.
Yeah.
That's already in the
Yes,
PDF.
hey,
You've
when you're-
already. We've made it to that
Doesn't
point.
say that I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a designated period of time at which I will not be leaving my kid to meet you because I don't know if you're an asshole yet, and I'm
Don't-
not going to spend time with my kid, lose time with him
yes.
if you're an asshole.
And they're
That's
like, then why you need so much fucking gas if you never leave your house?
That's why it's not on the list. Right? I go
I want you
places.
to fill my gas tank so that I
driving
can
around
go places
torturing her
without
kid.
you.
It's 100%. Well, no, if we established the rate that you were close enough to me, that you had my car keys, that you could go pump gas for me,
Yeah.
we would have already established the first page of us going out would have
Right.
already been met. Like, you would have met those criterion.
Nice.
You can go on to the next.
Do people meet your criteria?
No. Yes, there are people who do.
Right.
There have been people that I have just mutually been like, you're great.
Yeah.
You're just not.
Not great for me.
It's just not great for me.
Yeah. You're like, you look good on paper, but
Yeah.
not good enough.
That's brutal.
You scored well, but it doesn't matter.
Not high enough. Her now, actually, that I read over it, I realize I don't want to date right now.
Yeah,
So.
I'm writing myself a PDF.
Right.
It's the best. And even if you're not obnoxious and share it with the person like I do, it's good to organize your thoughts in a way
Right.
that allows you to see, like, what do I actually value and need in a partner at this stage in
Well,
my
I'm
life?
not looking at a person.
Yeah,
'Cause
for
when you start
sure.
looking at them,
because then
it
like
get-
all kinds of all of your feelings, and
Yeah.
if you're actually attracted to that person, then you start to glorify them
Yeah.
in ways that there's none of that in a PDF. It's just like, what do I actually value in this person
Right.
for a relationship beyond just like me
what I'm
thinking that you're a pretty
Attractive.
person,
Yes.
right?
Because once you start being intimate with somebody,
It's over.
yeah, and
Your
it's hard. It's
logic-
even harder to say no. It's
For
harder
sure.
or to break up or like.
Yeah.
Because then you get yelled at. You do.
When you break up?
You said they call them narcissists when they don't want to see you no more.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that people that ghost, so individuals that ghost people are automatically narcissists?
for sure.
That has made the criteria.
I looked it up. 1% of the population is narcissists.
Yeah.
So I told a girl, she's like, blah, 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 narcissist. I said, listen, I talk to most therapists, and like I ask them, how many narcissists have you come in contact with? And most of them say one, maybe two. That's been the consistent answer. And I'm like, you couldn't have dated the same guy that they've all seen.
Right.
I'm going to assume that you've never dated one.
No. Lots of assholes.
You've lots of assholes.
Lots of
Plethora.
assholes.
Right. And lots of nice ladies
Lots of
as well,
assholes,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Probably
That's okay.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah.
Same.
I've had one.
That's what I'm saying. It's most of the time it's
yes.
one, possibly
Right.
two.
And it's unique because it's literally by definition it is not changing. Like, it's non-changing. It's not just in certain situations,
Correct.
right? And like
Right.
that's why like at least that person, it was the same across their entire lifespan.
Yep.
To
Like,
everyone.
it's
Every
just-
relationship,
every relationship, every
job,
single thing.
every situation.
Every job, everything. It was just
Environment.
complete. So when people are like, "Oh, you're being a narc," you're not being. You are a narc. Like, it's a
I
personality.
didn't call you a
disorder.
bitch. I said you were acting like one.
Right.
No, it's like that's your personality. It's an enduring trait that does not change.
And it's a mental disorder, correct?
It is. It's a personality disorder.
Okay, so
for
personality
sure.
disorder.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
you can't just say that. Like, that's not just how you're acting.
No.
That's who you
No,
are,
it's like
right?
the same thing. Like, if people.
trigger.
You're
yeah.
acting like you have multiple sclerosis.
Yes.
What? No.
He has
I hurt my ankle.
You ate a large meal. You're acting
Right.
like a diabetic.
Right.
No, stop.
I don't know that amount of candy you've been eating.
But it would. It would be like
Yes.
saying to somebody that,
You're schizophrenic.
yeah,
They say that a lot, though, right?
For sure.
yeah,
They should.
more than they
Yeah.
should. More than
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah. Or like if
Really?
someone cleans something, they're like, "Oh my god, you're being so OCD."
I know,
It's like, no, you were just like we're tired of the dirt. Like OCD again is a
I'm being a
personality
responsible
disorder.
adult.
Yeah.
I know people are like, are you
Clean up.
OCD? I go, no, I'm just a fucking adult.
I just don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
like roaches in my home. That's
Right.
that's my
Oh, yeah.
limit. Like
When
Right.
anybody with like erratic emotions, obviously they're bipolar.
100%.
Anybody who has any type of sensory issue, obviously they're on the
I
spectrum.
have all
sure.
this shit.
Yeah.
For sure.
Listen, there are certain
people,
noises.
The general public is super
Oh.
quick to just like
100%.
label
Listen,
you.
I know I'm close. I'm like dancing on the line of some of this shit. And that's okay.
We can go
Yeah.
through it someday. I'll bring the book.
And that's my favorite with autism. Anytime, inevitably, we're like, we have medical settings and people will be like, your kid doesn't look, I wouldn't tell that he has autism. Like, you do realize there is no facial features
is.
associated
there is.
with autism. Like other genetic disorders.
He
there's
doesn't have a bow
facial
tie.
features. Right. Like
doesn't-
there's no, he can have, they're like, he has such good hair. I'm like, and you can have
Shut
good
the
hair and be
fuck up.
autistic. Literally. Like when
He has such good hair.
when
He's not autistic.
When we were touring our new home, I took him with me, and the realtor, I was like, one of my biggest concerns is the fact that like, I need a bedroom with a first floor window because if he ever tries to escape,
Right.
I'm going to have alarms on it. But I want him to fall 5 feet and not 30 feet and end up in the like 5 feet. You'll roll your ankle and learn your
That's
lesson.
because you're raising a sissy.
Right? We had to fracture your
God.
femur if you're going to
But
jump
was she
out.
so
And
confused why
she
you
was
were
like,
planning
"Why are
for
you
him to escape?
Yeah, and I was like, well, I was like, I'm going to put every effort in place, but a fail safe. I will fall asleep at some point, and if I don't get up to the alarm, I don't want a 30-foot fall when I can have a 5-foot fall.
She's texting her friend going, I think she abducted this child.
100%, right?
He's trying to escape.
And after we established that he was in fact mine, I was like, people can have different skin colors and be related. After we established that, she was like,
lies.
is he really autistic? He has the best hair. And I was just like,
For real?
and at the time we were, it was like one of the few days we actually had winter. So it was like freezing cold and we're standing in the backyard. I'm like, yeah, there's no facial features associated with autism. I was like, you can also have great hair and be autistic. I was like, do you want me to start listing celebrities who had great hair and are diagnosed? Like, for instance, like Albert Einstein
Great hair.
had thick hair and has been widely regarded as an autistic person. Like, we could go on, like we could,
you so
I've
mad?
never
we could
heard
continue. Like
fucking
Kendrick
great
Lamar
hair.
has identified that he was diagnosed with autism when he was younger and has great hair. Like, there's no, I was like, yeah, there's no.
George
Normally
Costanza
you
from
could-
Seinfeld? Not autistic.
Right, for sure. And she's like, you can tell. I was like, you can't tell. No. So don't say like you don't look autistic. That's not a thing.
I like it.
It
That's
is
all
not
I'm
a
going to
thing.
say.
Yeah.
You look a little fucking autistic today. No, I meant artistic. No. You got to have a cool pair of shoes on. Fucking come on.
I know.
That
It
can't
was
be
hysterical.
real. That's real?
It was 100% real. It was one of those moments I wish I was like recording it with my phone
my God.
so that I could prove that it actually happened.
And she wasn't being malicious. She was being like...
she was trying to sell me a home. So she was being super sweet and like kind.
Right.
'Cause
She was trying
wanted
to
my
compliment
money.
his hair.
She was trying to be
But
kind
she was like,
to him.
these two.
Like, who's his
Yeah.
daddy?
It was like literally, she was like, "Oh, he's so handsome," and that's what she was like. He has great hair. He can't be. I was just like, those things don't.
They're not connected at all.
You need to go home and shave his fucking head right now.
Now
Will
does
that
he look autistic?
Like in that, and I don't know if that's what she was getting.
Not
at.
all of it. Like, miss some spots.
Well, I was just gonna say
Like
just
some,
like one
bald
part,
spots.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
he'll look autistic.
100%.
Like, I don't know if that was what you were getting at. Like, I don't know most parents that don't let their 2.5-year-olds do their own hair because then they would all look autistic. Like, there'd be chunks missing from everyone's hair.
Gum in it.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
no way. He doesn't even have gum in his hair.
No.
Right.
No. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so.
Or like
that's
we
such
were
a
at the
weird-
pool. This was just yesterday. We were at the pool, and this super nice family. He was eating a cucumber watermelon salad, and like on the back of his bag, there's like a little sign that says like won't respond. Cause no, he's nonverbal, so he won't respond to verbal commands. So like on his life vest is like, hey, if he's drowning, he's not going to talk to you. So like use other things to communicate with him.
Right.
So the person was like, oh, is he on the spectrum? I have a daughter on the spectrum. She was like, he's eating cucumber, and I was like. Wait, I'm sorry.
What,
Come
does
again.
everybody gotta be fucking Forrest Gump? Like, what the fuck is going? Like, what are you
Like
basing
he,
it on?
like
This was
what he
literally
shouldn't
like, yeah.
like
Fucking
cucumber
Rain Man?
And so then it
because
was
it's
like,
wet.
I was like, listen, I worked overnight. I haven't slept yet. Can you help me understand what you're saying? And she was like, well, our niece doesn't like cucumber. I was like, well, yeah, not all autistic people eat the same exact food. It's like there are millions
this
of
fucking
autistic
real?
people. This was
Do
literally.
you think
24
every
hours
Down
ago.
syndrome kid fucking acts exactly the fucking same? They kind of do look a lot alike, so that's one of the
And
things.
For sure.
It's a spectrum
It's a
disorder.
spectrum.
Like so, like
Yeah.
it's even
Explain that.
in.
So I don't.
Go ahead. I'll let you do that.
No, it's just it like.
Dude, she doesn't even have. She has good hair. Like, don't.
Well, because there used to be Asperger's, which was
Okay.
named after a Nazi who basically, like, during the Holocaust was like, if you're autistic but can do math well, and we can use you to advance our cause of, Nazism, you will survive. And if you're too dumb to do those things, we will kill you. And that was what, like, if you were Asperger's, you were one of the ones that was saved, right? So this was a diagnosis that we kept forever. And people were like, that's really bad. We should get rid of that. But
Was he on to something? something?
But it was correct in the sense that he was observing that autistic people exist on a spectrum. Not everyone is good at math. Like my kid hates numbers, but
He's good at
he
hair.
will like listen. He listened to Frozen the first time yesterday and got on his piano and played Let It Go perfectly without issue and heard it one time. He can't
For
read
real.
music and he can't talk, but he can go play his piano perfectly.
Mike,
2.5.
you're fired.
And he's
Can you play bass?
Like the one day he went into church.
like, there it is, his gift.
There's
Because
his
they all have a gift,
for
right?
sure, right? That's his gift. But he can't be autistic because he ate cucumber. You know, it's so there's a
But
spectrum.
he's got good hair and he plays piano.
Right, but he
He's
can't
gonna be set up.
Right, he's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be like playing in some bar somewhere.
Do you think I have a problem with girls because I don't talk enough? He's fucked.
He's totally
Oh my
screwed.
God.
I know, totally screwed in the future. He's gonna be like this handsome dude who's just playing the piano and doesn't say
Doesn't
a word.
speak, right.
So I can't say anything wrong. I mean, but super good at planning. He needs everything planned. So he'd have that date planned. He'd be like, and at 9:15, we will take a break to go to the bathroom, be done at 9:20, meet back at this location at 9:20.
Wash
It'd be
hands.
planned to the second. I mean,
That's amazing.
it would be, but that's what people, they assume
Yeah.
that every kid is the
Right.
same.
So the spectrum is pretty wide.
It's huge, right? I mean, it's from people who are as, you know, low support needs as like there are physicians that are practicing neurosurgeons who are diagnosed autistic, and there are some kids who won't be able to cook for themselves. And it's the same right now, it's the same diagnosis.
So you could have like level 1 to level.
For sure. And that's
30.
what we've done. There's like level 1, 2, and 3.
That's it.
Yeah. Or high needs, low needs. But I think even needs, low needs is because like my kid is high needs in communication because he can't talk, but he's very low needs in things like music and creativity. You know what I mean? Like he won't ever need to learn how to read music because he doesn't need it.
How do you get diagnosed?
It's like, it's the worst 3 days of your life. That's how you get diagnosed.
Oh, I've been married a couple times. Let's go.
He's like, 3
Fucking
days.
let's go.
3 days.
Literally, it's the worst. You have to go and the third day is just they talk to you alone as a parent. But the first 2 days, they put your child through this series of tests.
I might have had this done to me.
The whole goal
I
is to make
swear.
them mad. Like the whole goal is literally to irritate the
dysregulate
child,
them, yeah.
to dysregulate them. So like they put
So you
on,
married your kid that young. Okay.
right? Like, you know, they'll put on, like, in the time he was into Encanto, so they'd put on Let's Talk About Bruno, or like We Don't Talk About Bruno. And then halfway through, they'd turn the whole screen black, shut all the lights off, and take the TV out. And so I'm like, what's his reaction? Complete.
You do that to any
hysteria.
fucking kid, they're
And that's what I said. I was like, first of all,
That's the
I'm
worst.
mad.
Are you at the
Right.
German test center again? What the fuck is going on?
Right, you're like,
I'm
I'm
mad.
mad because you are
I'm mad
traumatizing my child.
because that made me mad because I was liking it, first of all.
Right.
Secondly, like you know, and they're like, well, because the goal is, it's not every kid would get dysregulated. It's how the kid responds to their dysregulation.
Okay.
Like, can they
Soothe.
recover?
Yeah,
Yeah, can they
or how long does it
self-soothe?
take them?
Or like,
Yeah.
how do they respond? You know, like if a kid gets dysregulated and is neurotypical, they may seek out their parent and then go seek another object that they like, you know. My kid may start flapping around and get so overwhelmed that, you know, he would respond to being squeezed super tight. Whereas a neurotypical kid, if I went and just squeezed a kid when they were mad, they'd pretty like, get off of me.
Right.
My kid responds to pressure, right? So if I put, you know, he's 30 pounds. If I put a 50-pound weighted blanket on him, he's calm in 2 minutes, you know, because he needs sensory input. And that's how they're like, okay, he's sensory seeking, you know, or when he gets mad, he'll climb to the top of the wall, you know, like a flat wall. He'll just climb it like Spider-Man. You're like, okay. You know, most kids are on the floor crying. He'll like sensory seek. That's the goal of it. But as a parent, it's terrible because
Right.
you're there alone. Well, I mean, you don't have to be alone. You could have somebody with you, but it's just him and I. And I'm like,
Yeah, we read your PDF. You're not having anybody
Right,
there
no,
with
there's
you.
no-
She'd rather do it alone. She was there by herself.
100%. Yeah,
Right.
because then what would that person do? They'd be like, how can I help? You can shut up. I'm just
Right,
joking,
shut
because there's
up 'cause
already
I'm
enough
watching.
noise.
Right, like, yeah.
And you can stop talking. Yeah, but and then that they do that for 3 days, and then they're like, so, not that you don't already know this, but you know, your kid is probably
I know he doesn't
autistic.
look like it,
Right,
but-
even though he has good hair, and he does like cucumbers, he's probably still autistic.
Right.
And we don't have any further information for you
That's
because
it.
it's a spectrum, and we'll figure it out. And they're like, so this was like 16 hours of pure hell. For what
just
reason?
for a yes.
For you to say what I already knew.
confirmation.
And it all comes down to insurance
I
reasons
was gonna say, it's
because
documentation.
until
But
it
yeah.
is documented, his insurance will not cover anything. And like the device that's needed for him to talk, out of pocket is $10,000 with a diagnosis, and insurance is free. So like you're trapped because I don't have $10K that I could go buy him an iPad with,
Right.
you know, that he's going to break. Anyway, and then need another one in another year and a half
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So
you needed the piece
Wow.
of paper
for
so
someone
you
to
can
say
get
what
the
I already knew.
things. So
I
he
had
can
a lot
talk.
of testing done when I was like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to
Was it
look
like
back
that?
into that.
Did they turn off
Reach
your
back out to
favorite
some
movie?
family. See if maybe there's.
There's a lot of things going on. I might
Did you
have.
like cucumber?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
great hair.
I like radishes a lot. So does that count?
It does.
Sometimes they fixate.
I used to have long, luxurious hair. So that's crazy. That
So we're connecting so many dots for you today, John.
yeah, this is getting real.
You're like, okay, so I have
I
negative
feel
core
like this is an
beliefs.
intervention.
Might have some diagnoses.
I'm probably somewhere on that spectrum. Yes, there's a lot of
Lots
things
of people
that
are.
For
yeah,
sure, lots of people are.
It's cool.
The hardest thing. Have you ever had to
Yes.
clinically? Have you ever had a conversation where you were referring a parent to get their child tested?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That is not an easy conversation to have.
It's
either.
not. It's not an easy conversation at all. And then this sounds terrible, but it's really bad because before I had my kid, I was probably like 80, like at 80%. I would be able to tell kids, 20% I would not be able to tell kids.
Yeah.
And then when I had my kid, I started pouring myself into actually educating myself and researching and making that a specialty area. And now I've never been wrong. Like since
Right.
I've done that, every
Yep.
time I tell a parent that, I know within 3 months they're going to come back and tell me I was correct,
Yep.
which makes it really bad because then, you know, like initially they're mad at me, right?
I was
Then
going to say
they're pissed.
They're
you know?
nobody wants. It's like
100%.
They
They're
have a lot of
super
assumptions.
pissed.
They're super defensive because if they're on the higher end, the
Yeah.
lower needs,
For sure.
they're like, no, they're not. Well, I'm not in a position to tell you today that they are.
Yeah.
Not my job.
For sure.
But what I'm saying is it's an appropriate referral.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, you
To have
know.
that assessment.
That's
and
hard.
they will.
And that's what I normally. I'm not a psychiatrist and I'm not a psychologist. I can't diagnose your child with autism. But what it is my job to do is to say, do they have enough indicators that are causing mental distress that it would be beneficial for them to receive an appropriate diagnosis? And that answer is 100% yes. That I am capable of giving you. And then normally they're like, well, they get all A's in school. I'm like,
They have good hair.
They have great hair. You know,
Or they have friends.
they have so many friends.
Really?
I've
Yeah.
literally had a parent one time and they were like, my kid plays baseball. They're social.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, and they also have a collection of 5,000 baseball colors organized by stat and age and era.
Yep.
Seriously?
So they're hyper fixated on baseball. Like they
Right.
don't just play baseball.
Yep.
They're hyper fixated on baseball. And that's why I'm telling you this is very beneficial.
How many
right?
guitars do you have to have before you're autistic?
However many you would deem a hyper fixation.
Listen, our last person says a lot of guitars would be 4. And I was like, 4D? Like 400?
I would say a lot would be like
What's a lot?
11. 11 is a lot.
Yeah, anything over 10, I feel like that's a lot.
Ask
Mike,
him.
I'm not comfortable
Ask
in
him.
here.
Hyper fixated on guitars is such a super common one.
Really?
My kid is fixated on all instruments. We now have like 3 pianos. Like, because I got him a baby piano, and then that wasn't enough, so I went to a garage sale and got a keyboard. But it was $10, and I should have known that like only half of the keyboard works.
Yeah.
Right.
So we went to another garage sale and got a working keyboard, and now that it was only like a partial keyboard, but all of the keys worked, and that's still not enough now. So like he will probably have 40 pianos at one point. At which point, it
But I
will be
like
a hyper
cucumbers.
fixation. That's the saving grace.
Oh, fuck. I mean, how many drum sets can I have before it gets weird?
Well, I love drums, so you
3.
Could, yeah.
Here? Ugh.
How
Mike.
many do you need?
There's 7 drum sets in the studio right now. They're not all mine, but there are 7.
Do they all do different things?
Yeah, no.
Right. So, like that would be because like
A
guitars.
little
can
bit. A little bit.
No. You needed a whole set, or you could have bought like pieces that did
No, you
different
can't do that. They
things.
have to match. Don't be ridiculous.
Well, you're
I wear 2
OCD.
shoes.
So
They have to
OCD.
match.
This is a hard one on Thomas.
Yep.
This is a good one today, people.
How many guitars do you have?
High 40s, and I sold like 9 of them last year. And I've been on I haven't been buying lately.
Well, but you do concerts. You're around people all the time. You talk for a living, so
Yeah,
you
I-
can't be autistic.
You're so social.
You have
Justin
so many
and Mike are
friends.
in there like this.
We have been saying
Like I just
this.
saw Justin hand Mike $15 to win this bet.
We've been
So-
saying this for
You can get
years.
adult ADOS testing.
And I can't stop looking at them and wanting more.
Yeah.
Were you hyperfixated, or
Yes.
are you?
Yes.
Well, we've talked. You looked them up on your phone.
It's caused problems in my dating.
I'm so glad you're here with us.
Fuck my life.
Well, didn't you say you did tattoos?
Yeah.
Which is
I've
like,
been obsessed with since I was 5.
for sure.
I started working in a shop when I was 14.
That's awesome.
Do you think that's normal?
I do.
No, it's
think
not
it-
normal. It's
it's
not
not-
normal
it's-
for a 5-year-old to be obsessed with doing tattoos in 1980. No. It wasn't cool back then. They weren't on TV. I was fucking obsessed with them. Fuck my life. Whatever. Wait, artistic.
Artistic. Yeah, creative.
They often are.
And you said that you don't like being told what to do, which is also fierce independence.
Uh huh.
What?
Uh huh.
All right.
Ask him if his house is clean.
Is your house clean?
You could say that. 'cause
He's
it's
like, and he's like Sheldon. Like sometimes,
what?
But
are
my
like
house is the
Sheldon.
same way, 100%.
no, but you have a hard time like.
Yes.
Ra-
I guess I have a hard time. Period. I have a hard
with
time.
abstract concepts.
Oh, it makes me mental. When people say things and they can't explain it, I'm just like, just stop. Like, if you can't explain why you feel that way, like, just until you can understand it, just please shut up. And I mean that in a nice way. Like, don't work it out in public. Work that shit out at home. Right?
After this episode, when Marissa says, I am not a psychiatrist or
Right.
a psychologist, however, it's my clinical obligation to.
Like any pink
suggest-
fucking slipped or whatever.
No.
No.
Fuck.
No, you're not a danger to yourself or others.
That's another
You-
huge misconception.
I'm not. No, I know that I have some shit going on, but it definitely obviously hinders my relationships. But I don't know what to do with that. Write them a PDF and have them sign off
You
on
can.
it. I don't want to do that though. You know what I
can.
mean? I mean, I understand why you do it, but my children are older now. My youngest is 17, so she's driving on her own this week.
She passed.
Yeah,
Yay.
she passed.
Good.
So she's been driving, and she messaged me before she leaves. Oh, I have something for parents. I tried something with her when she got her license, and I knew she was gonna be driving. I got her car, and I said, "Hey, I want you to make a list of rules that you think you should have to have a car this summer." And she came up with like this great list of rules. It was an interesting way to, instead of me just handing down
Yeah.
rules, it made her really think about what good rules would be, and it was really good for
In order
us.
to keep her car?
To,
like,
yeah,
in order
just
to, like.
what she thinks her rules should be of having access to a car.
Okay.
And she had a great list, and it was really, really good, and I was super proud of her. There was only one thing on there or wasn't on there that I needed to put on there, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." You know what I mean?
Just didn't think about it.
She did really good with it, but it's a little scary when they're driving.
I'm teaching
It's
two
been
of
so
them.
long since the
Yeah.
middle one was driving. It's, me and one of my best friends took her driving. It was hilarious. It was so funny. I can still remember it.
I would panic.
Yeah. My son, so our oldest two are both learning how to drive, and I took my son into a parking lot the other day and told him to back in. Empty parking lot. So just back into a spot.
Hey, pick one. Not so much.
Oh my God. He turns and it's cocked sideways. And then I was like, all right, just try again. And he just starts giggling and he turns, but overcompensates. And
The
he was
total other
like,
way.
I'm just going to pull through every single parking spot
For the rest
ever.
of my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't. You can't.
We
You
did.
can't do that.
He was like, in parallel parking? I was like, can I get some credit? Like, I always just, he's my mini me. Like, we just go back and forth and back and forth. And I was like, I just would like to pause to get some recognition for the fact that I'm a phenomenal parallel parker.
Yeah, it's actually super hard.
And he was like, okay, Mom, you win. And I was like, in all those times that you were like, why do you park so far away? Do you understand now why I don't want to squeeze my big ass truck into teeny tiny parking spaces? Like, I need the steps anyway.
No, I have a 20-foot long truck too.
Yeah,
You can't.
I'll
You can't.
just go back here. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Teaching kids.
No,
it is
Jeep, you can
scary.
put anywhere.
I hope.
Anywhere.
In my dreams, I have a 20-foot truck.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't. I have a very tiny it's a mom car, and I hate it with every fiber of my life. But
Do
it's
you?
fine. It keeps us safe.
There you
Not
go.
for you.
It's not for me. It'll be very easy to learn how to drive in because you could do it. You can drive it with one hand.
I like it.
Nice.
So we've learned that I'm got some shit going on, working through it. So dating while having any child's hard, and I could imagine, having a special needs child becomes even more.
It's easy because I just don't
You don't do
it.
it.
So
Yeah, because
the
it's just
problem
not
is
worth it
solved.
because you don't want to explain it. You don't want to deal with
100%
something.
solved. I feel like if someone is willing to make an effort, then the effort will be made. I will not have to seek it.
That makes sense.
It will just come. I don't want to chase things.
We talk about that a lot.
That's true.
People just wait for it to show up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For them to just knock on your door and say, I actually found your PDF in the cloud.
Now it's going to be circulating.
it out.
Yeah.
We need to get this PDF out.
We need to get it out circulating on social media.
Absolutely.
I wonder how many would hit us the same way. We're like, that's pretty good.
It's
lot.
not unreasonable
viewers.
necessarily.
You're going to have to go to your husband and be like, listen, we're going to do a couple-year review.
Right.
Quarterly
I have
review.
this new assessment.
Performance review.
Right. Performance of.
Wow. Mike's going to do a performance review on his date yesterday.
Yeah, he wants it for sure.
He needs one.
I'll give it to my friends.
Yeah. Just distribute it freely.
That's
It's
insane.
a tool. It's just a tool.
You do like a
Edit it.
PowerPoint presentation.
Here's my slide deck.
Right.
If you can't make it past 3, please do not respond.
How
Do not respond.
tall of a window could you fall out of before being hurt? So
I don't know. I don't want to find out. It's currently a 5-foot window, so I feel like we'd be fine.
Reasonable. Yeah, kids are pretty durable.
I feel like we'd be fine.
Yeah, but he's got good hair. So
The hair could cushion the.
he just
cushion
land in
the
a
blow.
hole where you plant all your cucumbers.
We do plant cucumbers.
Of course you do.
100%.
Yes.
And they are outside of his bedroom window, but it's only
Shut
5
the
feet above.
fuck up. No.
Oh yeah, so if he ever
Does he
jumps
look at
out,
them?
yes.
Yeah.
And there's also a bird feeder connected to the outside of his window, so he'll watch the birds eat.
Guess who else has bird feeders outside their window?
He is like obsessed with them.
Fuck my life.
He will just stare.
I just want you to come up with the next topic.
Hyperfixations. How do hyperfixations impact our dating life? Do you have a cucumber patch outside your window?
I have a little flower thing that I planted
That's awesome.
and 2 bird things.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with my puppy.
That's true. His 3rd puppy.
He's so cool.
Puppies are the best.
He's not turned into shittiness at all.
Still no?
No. Not at all. He's super sweet, and I love it. Any stories or questions? Yeah. So we did have somebody write in a thing. I was able to find it today, which is awesome. Because normally, last week, I did not do good with that, remember?
That's true. I think you said we were going to look at it today, though.
That is true. That is true. Maybe somebody with good hair. Oh, this is flipping out. Sorry, I don't make a noise. I need to talk to Apple and ask them why, when something's charging,
Does
everything does some funky shit. Have you noticed that? No? No
Not on
one?
my
Just me?
computer.
Oh no, it happens all the time.
You don't?
It happens all the time. But all my devices overheat when they're charging.
They get weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you get to read this because apparently I'm bad at reading. My buddy Tom says you should probably let Kelly read it. I think he just likes your voice. Or maybe I'm just not good at reading.
It says, so somebody wrote it.
Oh, I love it.
I think dating apps have helped make people disposable. I'll pause. Do you feel like dating apps?
No, it's probably
are
your
what
parents.
helps?
Sorry.
Disposable is a harsh word. He has
You
it
think?
in quotes. Disposable.
Why wouldn't people be disposable though? Like if you're not fucking in a real relationship with them.
I personally just hate the word disposable in the context of humans. It is an ick for me.
Okay.
But I think I'm assuming
Is that a boy or girl?
I think what they're trying to say is that it makes them easier to move through, maybe? Like just move on?
Let's keep
them?
going.
Okay.
There's more to this.
Being a priority would be if we have limited time to spend together, doing your best to make it happen. For example, we have 2 hours and one of them wants to have quality time and the other one wants to spend time with friends. Now that is okay sometimes, but not all the times. I feel everyone has a different idea of what that looks like.
Yeah.
That's true.
So quality time. I hear a lot of people I had a girl today when I asked what's the most important thing to you, and she says quality time. Most things that I like to do, I'd like to do with another person. I'd like to think of them doing it with me. Not you. No, not you.
But quality time is a high priority for me, unlike my love languages. But there are things that I very much enjoy doing that I don't want my partner there. Like yoga. Like when I go to yoga. I mean, he could come. That would be fine. But I don't know that he would enjoy it. I went kayaking today. He hates kayaking.
He does.
He says that he likes it and he will do it. But he hates the heat. So if it's like 60 out and cloudy, he would kayak all day. But
not when it's 83.
not when it's 83. I got so much sun today.
Yeah.
Felt great.
So
But quality time, yeah, it's
a big
different.
deal to a lot of people.
You were just saying that
Yeah. Huge.
that girl was like, nope, if we sit on the couch, that's not quality time.
Yeah.
And unless he's sitting on the couch with somebody else, and then that is quality time.
Yeah, that wouldn't
That
be.
confuses me.
Right? But when I ask people these questions all the time, because I'll put it in a different scenario, you know, because I've had people say it's not a big deal. You know, I told that girl I didn't want anything serious. I said, if your wife was doing what you did with that woman, would you consider it serious if she did that with another man? And his face is making like, yeah, that's serious. And I go, okay, well, this is my Sheldon brain. I'm like,
Make this
it's
make
the
sense.
fucking same thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So quality time. And I don't know if it makes people disposable. I think that it's like saying Target makes products disposable. Well, there's a lot of products I don't want. And I might pick it up and look at it and go, no, it just doesn't feel right to me, or it doesn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it might be the right fit for someone else. I could see where somebody would feel disposable.
Yeah.
Because they put it out there. And I mean, we've talked about it before. People are on dating sites not to date. Most people are not on there to date. They're on there to just be fed.
Right.
You know, so good luck. And I think it's really shitty for people to be on dating sites who really don't want to date. I think that's really shitty.
Right.
I think that's almost predatorial.
Right.
You know, not to the level of, you know,
Right. Sure.
true, you know, what
It's
that means.
selfish.
But it's
selfish. They're getting their needs met.
they're on, they're like, it's hard enough for someone to go on a dating site and put themselves out there publicly. And then you get your hopes up because, like, you're even talking to somebody, but they never want to meet you. They never want to talk on the phone, but they'll always message you.
Right.
What was it called? There's a word. There's something.
Benching.
Mike's like benching. The bitch starts doing that to me. No.
Benching, and what was the other one?
Breadcrumbing.
Breadcrumbing. That's one. There you go.
Yeah. So I could see where that feels disposable.
Yeah.
You know.
I would think the other way that's just clicked. Dating apps make relationships disposable sometimes, because if you're in one that you're unhealthy or unhappy or whatever, you can, download an app and get on in
Yeah. It's like ordering
minutes.
a penis on
minutes.
Amazon.
Right. Makes it easier to cheat.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to move on.
I mean, I don't think it needs to be any easier to cheat. It's not that hard.
I think it gives people more options too, because a lot of times people were just settled like, oh, I don't want to be alone, so this is as good as I'm going to get. But then if you go on, a dating app and someone that you think is out of your league responds to you,
Right.
Yeah.
then you're more likely to leave that other relationship behind. And
Right.
especially for people that are socially awkward, like who are not going to go meet people out in the world.
Yeah.
Because where do you actually go and meet people? I have no idea. I don't. I have,
Once you're
I
at a
have no
certain
idea.
age, it's hard. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and socially awkward people or people that are suffering or just don't have a lot of confidence, anybody who shows them attention, they will accept some really bad behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how would I meet somebody in person with my PD and just walk up to the bar and start handing out pamphlets? Like anybody who responds and gets
Right.
90% or above,
Right.
please see the number on the back. And
Well, I would
text.
go wherever they sell
So
like
efficient.
hair.
So effective.
Listen, hair grooming aisles. Because they care about
Yes, if you have
grooming
good
their
hair.
Yes.
If you, yes.
I think that's a good place to
100%.
start. She's at Sally's all the time,
All the
just
time.
hanging out.
For her mate.
Holy shit! You buying a wave cap? You care about that shit? What's up? Let's go.
What kind of brush do you use?
Yeah. Do you do nighttime exfoliation?
Are you open to
Anything?
changing your hair care routine?
Anything. What's the maximum amount of heat you will put on your hair before you're worried? So yeah, I mean, dating sites are good and bad because it does for a lot of people who don't want to go out drinking. And here's what sucks: if you go out drinking and you meet somebody, you're kind of stuck with them. If you make out with them or you fool around with them, you're kind of stuck because you're just like, well, I've already been intimate with you.
In what capacity?
I'm
I don't feel like that's true.
Well, if you pour water on them like a dog, they'll get unstuck. But it's. I'm saying once you're intimate with somebody, it's really hard to break it off with them.
You could just disappear.
You're like, not really.
I don't feel like that's true.
You could just disappear.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It would be for me.
That might be you.
For sure.
Yeah. No,
For
there
sure.
are lots of people out in the world that are making out with people at bars and they don't know their name and they just go home separate. Facts.
100%.
Tell me I'm not wrong.
No, 100%.
Where are y'all hanging out at? No, seriously.
Everywhere?
Mike wants to know where y'all hanging out at.
Everywhere.
Mike's
There's
like,
a-
where
there's
the
a
fuck is that
whole-
place?
There is a whole world in which people make out. They don't know each other. They never see each other again. They don't exchange phone numbers. They hook up.
There are people that just have that stringently that relationship.
Yes.
I can't.
I have friends that they'll be like, oh, this is my person. We're not partners. I don't care about them.
No.
Like,
But that
like
is
they
who I
were in a
sleep
car
with, right.
accident. Or you can certain know whenever they recover, they'll come back over. It's like
Yep.
there's no concern for that person.
Yes.
And then like if that person
Yes.
moves
Oh.
away, it's like
That's hurting my
well,
head.
There are
Like,
a lot of categories.
for sure. Like
for people.
and then like I'll be like,
Strictly
who is
sexual
that? Yeah,
relationships.
and I'm like, no, that's not my friend with benefits because we're not friends.
Nope.
Shut, Mike. Do you
just-
hear that?
That's
Walk
You
down
just
the
have a
grocery
benefit.
aisle and wouldn't even.
No, wouldn't even talk to you out in public because you're not my friend.
Right, yeah.
You mean nothing to me.
Right.
We just both have a desire and we're gonna meet it in a consensual way.
Yep.
That's it.
Wow.
But like I don't care. Like that person wouldn't care about the other person.
My brain can't wrap around
I know.
that. I can't. Mike, you think you could do that? No, Mike's saying a hard no. Mike wants a friend with benefits. He doesn't want just a
both.
benefit. He'd be like, yeah, that's my benefit. You a friend with it? No, we're not friends. That's like, no, we ain't
Yes.
friends.
No. Well, friends hang out.
Yeah.
Friends talk.
Yeah.
Friends
Don't touch each other's
share.
buttholes.
Yeah.
Some friends do that.
Like friends with benefits would imply I care about you as a person.
Oh my
Right.
God.
I'm friends with you.
Yeah,
But I'm
right.
not dating you.
So you
Right.
know-
If I have a bad day at work, I will call you.
Yeah.
And then also, do you want to come over this weekend?
Yeah,
Those
for
are,
sure.
Those are friends with benefits.
Yeah.
I got you.
Like we could go get food and
No,
then
you can't. Now, don't back out of what you said earlier.
could bring me
You can
food.
bring me food and fix this fucking bunk bed.
Yes, you can. 100%. That would be totally acceptable.
You're the one that said food is fuel.
It is. It is
Food
fuel.
is fuel.
Bring food,
Yeah.
Jeez.
but do not leave any of your stuff here. Do
No.
not like
No.
no.
God, I can't.
If someone ever left something after I invited them over, I would purposely destroy the item and never speak to that person again, unless it was clearly like delineated
Holy
as
shit.
a boundary before. Like if they did some passive aggressive shit, I'm like, oh, I'll just leave this toothbrush here.
You
so I
think
have
that's
to come
passive
get it
aggressive or
tomorrow.
just clumsy? I mean,
I feel like it would be passive aggressive, unless it was something stupid. Like if you left like
A hair
bottle
tie.
of
yeah, like a
water.
hair tie, or like if you left your water bottle there, yeah, like for sure.
Sure, right.
What if it had a camera in it?
But like if you did something
but you, like-
shady,
Like,
like
what
you
do you
threw
mean?
your hoodie on
yeah,
my like
you purposely like hung your coat up on the coat rack and like looked at it when you were leaving, and then like walked out anyway. I would just get rid of your coat.
I would be
a
cold.
thing.
100%.
If I wore a coat there, I'm gonna assume.
Oh,
you
for
wanna
sure.
leave.
People do that all the
Oh
time.
yeah, I've had people do that. Oh yeah,
Give me
especially
back my
before.
hoodie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Really?
They'll
before.
leave it because then if somebody
Mm-hmm.
else comes, if there is another person, then they'll find their stuff and then they'll know that
I
there's
have a
somebody else
funny
there.
story about something being left on a doorknob. I was collecting my youngest daughter. Her mom was dropping her off one day, and there was a purse on my closet door in my living room. Like a coat closet, Well, my middle daughter just happened to come over and spend the night before and was there. You know what I mean? And normal drop off, like, hey, thanks, blah, blah, blah. And I get a call. I was like, I'm just going to come back and get her. And I was like, for what? What? Well, obviously you have company. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, you obviously have company. I'm like, what do you mean? Right. Well, I saw a person. I'm like, that is, my other daughter's. And she's like, I feel like a complete fucking idiot right now. Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
You look like a complete
Yeah,
idiot.
you should.
It was brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's
You
very
should.
emotional. Where's that definition of jealousy? You know what I mean? But it was crazy because I was like, but it instilled something in her for no,
Yeah.
I can't say for no good reason, whatever she felt. But it was funny because I was like, that's my kids.
And communication, because all it would have needed to say was, "Oh,
well,
whose purse is that?"
If somebody comes over to a guy's house and there's girl stuff there, I'm like, I have 3 daughters. Like,
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
good luck.
Put it out.
I found a fake eyelid. Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah.
And I bet you'll find more. I bet you'll find nails,
Hair
everything you
ties,
can think of.
yep.
Yes, it's all there. Good luck.
Bobby pins.
And I don't bring them home. Don't worry. I wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we've been over that, right?
You're actually
PDF.
barking up the wrong tree anyway.
Right, exactly.
Go check my car.
You have a 20-foot truck? Yeah, what do you need a house for? Damn.
I know, right? Got a bed every day.
Perfect.
There you go.
Definitely got a bed. I have an air mattress that fits in there perfect, too.
That's amazing.
I bought it for camping.
Same.
I really did. But, so dating is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I can imagine, like, single mom, it's hard. So if you're a single mom and you want to call 234-200-5949, Mike will make you an unsingle mom. Just saying. You know what I mean? So if you're struggling and talking at therapy is not working as much and you've been spending a lot of time, what is it called?
EMDR.
EMDR. Check it out. I'm going to check it out, apparently, and I'm going to get on that spectrum.
There's EMDR specifically for.
I'm sure I'm going to need that.
It's legitimately a thing.
Listen, this is a whole new evolution for me today.
Here on the Not So Tender podcast.
Yeah, right. You're watching me unfold this shit in real time. It's interesting, though. I could say that. But what do you do once you find out, like, say I am on the spectrum?
Hypothetically.
Maybe. What does that mean? Nothing.
It's whatever it means to you.
Right.
What the fuck? No!
Well, it would probably allow you to look back at the things in your life that were more difficult and probably have some self-compassion. Because it wasn't that you just
I need
couldn't
some
do
of that.
the things.
I like that. I do need some self-compassion.
Right. It was just that your brain was built to not be able to do the thing you were trying to make it do.
So can I hand somebody like a card and be like, hey,
You can if you choose to.
I need to make a card. I need you
Her
guys
son
to.
has
I need
a sticker or
does.
whatever.
of my life jacket.
He does.
Yeah.
It's a Paw Patrol sticker too.
What is it?
It's and it says like in an emergency, I will not respond to verbal commands. And then it also says on there, I have nothing that I can harm you with.
See, I
So that
couldn't
if
put
he ever
that.
gets older.
I definitely couldn't put that. I'd be like, I
Right,
will
well-
fuck your shit up.
Well, that's largely for police interaction because he's not going to respond and people are just going to assume that he's being defiant. You know?
So you don't. I would have never thought about that. Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's a different perspective.
And there's
for
like little
sure.
Paw Patrol characters to make it look less threatening. I might want one of those stickers. So that in an emergency
I need to
situation,
put that on
I don't
my
need to talk to
AR-15.
you. It can't hurt you, I promise.
Yeah, it's a
just looks
toy.
scary.
It's a lighter. It's from Spencer's. It's a bong. Put your mouth on it. I promise. It's a bong. Don't try that, Mike. Don't do that, bud.
Lord.
Well, I appreciate you sharing
Absolutely.
that. I feel like it's going to help some people for sure. Summer is upon us. If you want to date, date. If you don't want to date, don't. I like that you're like no, it doesn't serve me at this point.
If you don't want to date, just take my PDF. You won't have to say no.
We're
People
gonna-
will just leave.
We really
their
need to.
own
We
volition.
really need to publish that.
It's legit. Yeah. It's
We
fun.
would love if you share that with us.
For sure. Oh, I'm
Never
happy to
email it
do
to
so.
Dude. I can't wait,
We'll have to have her back.
dude. For sure. For
Line by line,
sure.
you run through it. It's about
Holy
3
shit.
pages.
Holy shit!
Properly spaced, of course. So not like 3 pages of solid text. More like prompts.
I feel. Are you gonna make one of these?
No, I'm not dating.
Well, I mean, just to make one.
Yeah, I could.
Like,
If we want to all make our own, and then we'll make a Google Doc.
Mike needs to
where
make
we
one.
can-
Mike, what would be on yours? He won't even talk. No, the only time he doesn't fucking talk to us. The other time he's just yapping. Not now.
Nope.
What would be your
Crickets.
first thing on your list, Mike? Call 234-200-5949. Mike, you got to think about this, bud. Justin, what do you think would be on Mike's? Mike, Justin, is his birthday yesterday. He's been drunk for 2 days.
Well, good for him.
Well, what did we learn today?
What have you learned today? I don't know that I've learned much of anything new. What have you learned today? I think she's
learned-
fantastic. That's why I invited her. What did
Yeah, Mike likes a short girl because he's not real tall, so he likes a 5 foot tall girl. That's pretty. I mean, Mike, seriously, that's it. My grandma said, Mike. My grandma said we're all the
Line
same
one.
height laying down. Just to let you know.
she's like?
Are we?
I don't know
I don't
that-
think that's true.
Don't listen.
Right, I was like,
Grandma's dead. Just let her have it, okay?
It might be where the height matters more.
No, or the length. Not so much the height. I've learned a good bit today. But I've concreted more things today. But there's some things I really need to deal with. Like what you just shared with me, it really made sense to me because I can't keep having that. I can't keep having that be a problem in my life.
No.
A simple thing of planning a date shouldn't send me into a spiral.
It's not fair to you.
Well,
Because it makes it
yeah,
stressful.
it does, but it also, as having a mate, that's a pretty simple thing to ask of me. But it doesn't feel that way. It feels like it literally tears down my soul, and I shouldn't feel that way, and that bugs me. So I don't want to be that because I don't want to be. I just want to be able to function like normal people.
I was gonna say what she's
Like people who have
she's
good hair and
also
eat
saying,
cute.
James, if a person is on the spectrum, it can be super dysregulating and frustrating to
can.
try to do things that your brain is not designed to do.
For sure.
So it's not always about it's not always about the spicy rock. Sometimes it's a combination. And so there might be a negative core belief and a difficulty in performing a task such as that at the same time.
Well, thanks. That helped. That didn't help. That made it twice as hard in my head. So, yeah, I'll just have to work through it, and I'll have to be able to communicate it better and be like, look, I'm trying to work through it. I'm going to try to get better at it, and can we just figure out how to do that together? And I'm going to work on some stuff. That's hard.
It is hard.
And it's in real time, so it's kind of even more fuckery in my head.
Self-compassion.
Oh, fuck. That sounds like my 70s, like, yacht rock band.
That's
That'd
what
be
you
a great
need.
name for a band, actually.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
That should be your biggest takeaway. because the rest of it is going to stick out
That's
more.
pretty
but
good.
let that stick out
I'm
more.
not gonna lie, Mike. Does that sound like a good name for our '70s yacht rock band? We'll sing Self-Compassion. That's our new band name. Everybody, text 234-200-5949
Yeah, we'll
and
read it.
tell us some stories. We're gonna have this other cat. What's his name?
Gavin.
Gavin. We're gonna talk to Gavin probably in the next week or so. So Gavin, we did read your message and we're gonna get a hold of you. Mike's gonna call you. Don't be weird. Because you're weird, Mike will fuck you up. And I'm just putting that shit out there. We need no
I know.
fuck
Don't.
it. I don't care. What are you gonna do? Fight us? Go ahead. Silly. I might be autistic, but I will fuck you up.
Oh, they strong.
Just kidding. Yep. Just kidding. Leave more voicemails. That shit was good, Gavin. We enjoy it. Thank you for being our guest. Good luck not dating. We want to see your PDF because that's super fun. And be nice to fucking people. Oh, you know what I didn't say on this podcast?
What?
The fuck's that even mean? I didn't say it. I done fucked up. There you go. You guys have a great day. Wish Justin happy birthday. And don't forget to click and subscribe and all that other happy horse shit. This is number 11.
Yep.
Not So Tender podcast. Thank you, Marissa, for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a nice time. We had a nice time with you.
Yeah.
So, thanks. Bye.
Bye.